Hello there, and welcome. I'm Dr. Calliope, and I'm going to be taking care of you today. How are you doing today? I hope by the time you leave this examination, you feel even just the littlest bit better. Now, let's take a look at your chart. See what we have on tap for you. And let me see. So it looks like we are looking for a general physical examination. Is that correct? Wonderful. And is there any particular reason why you wanted to have this examination? Just going to ask you just a couple of confirming questions. Would you mind just confirming your name and date of birth? Good. And is that your preferred name? How do you like to be addressed? Excellent. For this examination, I am going to need to be touching you. Is that okay with you? Do I have your consent to do that? Wonderful. So, I want to start by just taking a look at you as a whole. Just a little general inspection. How have you been feeling as of late? No issues with pain, illness, or mood? Good. Very good. Okay, so overall, there's nothing I see of note. So let's start by taking a little look at your eyes. I'm going to get up real close. And we're just going to look at the eyes, at the pupils. Good. Just keep looking straight ahead. Good. Any changes in your vision or any issues with the eyes, like itchiness, wateriness, any redness? No. Okay, and I'm going to look at the tissues around the eye, the conjunctiva. So I'm going to be pulling down the eyelid, and I'll have you look up, and I'll be pulling up the eyelid, and I want you to look down. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and pull up. I want you to look down. Good, okay. And I am going to be pulling down. I want you to look up. Look up. Good. Pink tissue. Very good. And you can blink a few times if need be. And in a moment, I'd like to test your eyes a little bit. Just making sure that our hair distribution is normal, the eyebrows, the eyelashes, clear tear ducts, and sclera looks clear, very white sclera. Okay. So let's do a little bit of an eye movement test. Now I am going to have you just look at my finger here. Focus on this finger using only your eyes without moving your head. Can you do that for me? Okay, we're just going to do something very gentle. We're going to test the cardinal directions of gaze. movement is governed by 3, 4, and 6. Your vision is number 2, the optic nerve. Good. Okay, and now I'm going to have you follow 2 fingers here. Okay, so make it a little easier, really. And we're going to go up and down to the side, to the side, up, down, to the side, to the side. And now I'm going to add in a couple more here. And I want you to follow these as best as you can. Let's go up and down to the side, to the side. Good. Let's change it up a little. We'll go diagonally up, diagonally down, diagonally down, diagonally up, diagonally up, diagonally down, diagonally down, diagonally up. I want you to keep focusing on my fingers here. Keep focusing on the fingers, only using your eyes without moving your head. Just going to come in and out, in and out, in and out. Good. And if you could just take a look at these fingers, and we'll do the same thing. I'm going to come in and out, in and out, in and out. Very good. Now, I'm just going to ask you just a couple questions about some objects in the room. More specifically, I want to know their color. So, I have some flowers in the background here. Can you tell me what color these different flowers are? There's quite a few colors there. What colors can you see? Pink, orange, yellow. Very good. And you might be able to see a little bit of the painting up there. Just a little bit. If you can't, that's fine. But do you see what color the painting is? Yeah, it's kind of like this canvas color with a little bit of orange. And we'll switch to the other side. What color are my books back there? There are 3 books. What color are they? Yep, so there's one that's kind of purplish, pinkish. There's one that's red, and one that's another of that papery, canvasy color. And what about the table? What color's the table? Good, it's blue. And what about my shirt? What color is the color of my scrubs here? Good, yes, these are blue as well. And lastly, what is the color of the wall? Yes, there's a lot of beigey going on. Yeah, very good. take a little peek at your ears. I'm going to start with a visual inspection, and then we're going to be bringing out the otoscope. So I'm going to start right over here, and we'll take a little look at the ear. Have you had any issues with your hearing as of late? Anything that might be a little too soft? Anything that's higher pitched, that's harder to hear? Anything that's lower pitched? Everything's still good. I'll take a peek here. And no itching, burning, fullness in the ear, nothing of that sort. Okay. And then the other side. Just take a look. Just looking at the external structures of the ear. And then let's take a peek behind the ear. So I'm just going to just gently look behind. Okay, good. And the other side. Good. It's very difficult for us to see behind the ears without someone else looking for us. So just making sure there's nothing lurking behind there. And let's take a peek with our otoscope. So I have our otoscope here. Has a little light. And I'm going to grab one of our speculums. Keep everything nice and sanitary. They all want to come with. But alas, we can only have one. Snap that on there. And then we have a little bit more of a concentrated point of light, and also something we can dispose of later. So I'm going to take a peek in the ears. And I just want you to do your best to stay still for me. I do prop myself up on your face here, so that if you do move, I'm not going to poke at all. And I'm just going to come in here and let's take a little look at the ear. And let's see. I'm not seeing really that much cerumen, which is good. If we have too much, it can cause a blockage. That can cause temporary or even permanent hearing loss. We don't want that. The tympanic membrane is intact. There's no perforation, good color, no bulging, I'm not seeing any discharge or any signs of infection. We can take a peek at the other side. Good. So the ear canal looks to be quite healthy here. And you can see the cone of light here. And we have the pearly gray color of the tympanic membrane. We can see the tip of the malleus. No perforation. Nothing in the ear canal. Good hair distribution. Don't need that one anymore. And we're going to do a little hearing test. So I am going to be whispering some words. I just want you to repeat back what it is that you hear. Right. Let's start over here. 16, 30, 54, 9, 12. Good. 81, 93, 46, 25, 99. Good, and how was that? Okay, did it sound overly soft, or everything seemed to be pretty coherent? Very good. Now we're going to bring out a tuning fork, and this is for our higher pitch sounds. So this one is 512 hertz, and it's going to be pretty high pitched. Let me show you. It's got a bit of a ring to it, doesn't it? A little bit. So I am just going to be putting this up to either ear, and I want you to let me know if you hear it. Good. That's coming in loud and clear. Right. I want you to close your eyes for me. We're going to do a little game. And I just want you to tell me which side you hear the tuning fork on. Okay. Right. So close your eyes. Let me know what side you hear it on. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right in the middle. Perfect. Wonderful job. Grab another speculum. We're going to take a look at the nose. And the purpose of this is a little bit for sanitation, but primarily so that we can concentrate the light so that I can look up into the nose. This will not be going into the nose, but it's going to be pretty close to it. So if you could just tip your head back a little bit, lift your chin. I'm going to get up close and personal with the nose. Good. All the way up there. Septum looks good. And the insides of the nose look good. No perforation, no deviation. Very good. Tissues don't look inflamed. Good air distribution. Okay. You can put your chin down, and I want you to do a little test for me. Do you have any issue with breathing out of either nostril? No? Okay. So I'm going to have you cover one side and just take some breaths for me. So cover one side. Block off one nasal passage. Just take a few breaths. Good. Okay. And then we're going to cover the other side and just take a few breaths. Very good. Any issue with your sense of smell? No. Do you get allergies often? Seasonal allergies? A little bit. Okay. And those have been manageable? Okay, very good. Now let's take a look at the mouth, and we'll be taking a look at the throat as well. So I'm going to take off the speculum. We could use a little bit of a wider beam of light. And if you could just open your mouth for me. Okay, and I'm going to press this down on your tongue. And then just take a little peek around. Look at the oral mucosa. Look at the condition of the teeth. See a little bit of the salivary glands. I'm actually just going to just pull back the pocket of the cheek a bit. And the other side, just going to pull that back. Good. Bite the inside of your cheek often. Yes, I am also one of those. And if you could just lift your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Good. And if you can lay your tongue down again, and then I'm going to look at the throat. Okay, so from here it looks like the throat smooth, no sign of cobblestoning. And tonsils look in good shape. Good. Throat doesn't look irritated or anything. And if you could say ah for me. There we go. Yes, uvula looks good. Right, and I'm going to do the sound. Good. And now if you could just stick your tongue out for me. Good. And can you move it to one side, the other, up, down? Good. Can you roll your tongue? I am not one of those that can roll my tongue. It just kind of gets in a weird, almost like loop shape. Just very strange. And I'll have you put your tongue back, close your mouth. Just want to look at the outside, the tissues here. Didn't notice any issues with the corners of your mouth while your mouth was open. And as your lips sit together, looks just fine. We're not quite into lip balm season yet, so everything looks good. You'll give me just a moment. Now, you haven't had any issues with your sense of taste, right? No. And what about any soreness in the throat? No. Do you get acid reflux? Do you feel it in your throat at all? Even sometimes in your nose or your ears? No. Yeah, you're lucky for that one. That one's not pleasant. Now, let's see. We're going to take a look at the scalp, and I'll also be looking at the lymph nodes while I'm there. So, I'm just going to be coming in close here. And we're going to take a peek through the hairline here. Any sort of itchiness, oiliness, flaking of the skin, dryness. No rashes. No. Check in by the ears. Yes, as you've been sitting here, I haven't noticed you shifting around or itching anything. Good. Just combined behind the ear. Good. Any lumps or bumps that you might have gotten recently? No. Hair quality looks good. It's pretty strong for your hair type. Feels like a massage. Good. I'm going to get up into where your head meets your neck, into the occiput area. And we're going to look at the occipital nodes. And we'll come behind the ears here. Post-auricular nodes. And in front of the ears. Preauricular nodes. Okay, jugulodigastric, parotid gland. And then we'll come underneath the chin here, underneath the jaw. We have submental and submandibular. Okay, and now we're going to come into the neck. The different cervical nodes, superficial cervical, deep cervical chain, posterior cervical. And lastly, supraclavicular, above the clavicle. Just a little bit of a rolling. Okay, and there wasn't any tenderness in any of that? No, very good. Before we move on, I want to take a little tap, 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 a little bit of direct percussion on the sinus cavities of the face. So we have the frontal, the ethmoid, and we have the maxillary. I'm just going to be doing a little tap, tap, tapping all over these. Let me know if there's any pain or tenderness. Looking for any inflammation. any pain or tenderness here. Let's bring out, firstly, the sphygmomanometer, our blood pressure cuff. And our stethoscope. Now I'm going to be putting on the blood pressure cuff. And we're just going to do this on this arm here. We'll run those lines down the radial artery. We'll bring in the stethoscope. Good. And I'm just going to pop this into the crook of your elbow. And we're going to be inflating the cuff. It's going to be quite firm, but it doesn't last too long. I think, you know what I did? I left it to deflate. We're going to close the valve, and then let's try that again. Let that deflate just a little bit. Get a systolic. Okay, and I'll let that deflate all the way. I'm going to give this just a moment. Good. And then let's bring the stethoscope back. And let's take a little listen to the heart and lungs. We're going to start with the heart. And you can breathe normally for this one. Just breathe normally. Good. We have our atrial, pulmonary valve, tricuspid, and mitral valve. We can check Herb's point. Good. And then let's take a little peek at the lungs. So I'm going to put the diaphragm of the stethoscope on your chest. And when I do, I want you to just take a deep breath in and out. I'll let you know when I need you to do that. Take a deep breath in and out. 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 I'm just going to be coming on the back here. Deep breath in and out. 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 Now let's switch to the bell of the stethoscope, and we're going to run over those places that I listened to before, and we're going to do the same thing. Deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. Deep breath in and out. Deep breath in, out. Deep breath in, out. Deep breath in, out. Deep breath in and 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 out. Last one. Deep breath in and out. If you are not relaxed after that one, I don't know what to tell you. I myself am pretty relaxed. While I have the stethoscope in, I'm going to use the diaphragm to listen to the abdomen, and you can breathe normally for this one. It'll just take me a minute or two to run through the 9 areas of the abdomen. Let's breathe normally. Listening to the GI system, the little sounds that indicate motility. And then we're going to do a little palpation of the abdomen. And I'm I'm just going to have you keep breathing normally. And I'm going to be pressing into the abdomen, first with a firm pressure, but more of a medium pressure. And then we'll do a deep pressure in which I'll use both my hands. Now, the deep pressure might be a little uncomfortable. Just keep breathing through it, and it doesn't last very long. Right? So we're going to start with the medium pressure. We need to use one hand for this. Feeling the contour. And then we'll do our deep pressure, 2 hands. Is that a little? Yeah, it's a little. I mean, generally we're not supposed to be pressing this hard in the abdomen in everyday circumstances. It is a little unfamiliar, if you will. Okay. And that's about enough of that, yeah? Finally, let's take a look at those reflexes, shall we? I have this Tromner hammer here. It's a reflex hammer. We have a little small area here I'm not going to need for this particular test, but instead I'm going to use this one right here, this little rubber end, and I'm going to be tapping along our different reflexes, starting with the Achilles tendon, and we're going to try to induce those reflexes. And we're going to start with the foot. I am going to hold the foot a little bit and give it some support, and I'm going to be tapping the hammer on the back of your foot, on the Achilles tendon. Right? I'm going to give it just a couple taps. Good. The other side, I'll just hold the foot up a little bit, give it a little support. Good. And then I am going to move to the knee. So if I could have you just relax the leg as much as you can, just let it hang freely. And we're just going to do good. Okay, good. It's a pretty easy one to induce. And now I'm going to do a couple on your arms. So first, if you could just let me take the weight of the arm here, and I'm going to put my thumb in the crook of your elbow while my other fingers hold the elbow, and I'm just going to tap on my thumb with the reflex hammer here. We're going to look at the biceps reflex here. Good. And the other side. So wrap my fingers around the elbow. Thumb goes in the cubital fossa here. Okay. And now we're going to do the triceps reflex. And I'm going to be holding your arm up, and it's going to be kind of like this. It's going to be a little bit at a weird angle, and I'll have you let me take the weight of it, and I'm just going to be tapping right back in there. All right. is going to be the end of our general examination. Reflexes. Have any questions for me at all? Okay. Your examination went perfectly. All smooth sailing, and there is nothing that leads me to believe that we need to do anything further. So if you don't have any questions, I'm just going to sign off here. I'd like to thank you so much for coming into my office for this examination. I hope you have a whale of a day and a good rest of your night. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I create primarily medical, alternative medicine / pseudoscience, and personal attention